Stephen A. Smith says that 3 white guys on an NBA team is too many white guys on an NBA team. Is he right? We'll go over it right now. We're not surprised when ESPN treads the line on borderline racism, as you've obviously clicked on this video, and so that's why you're watching it, because Stephen A. Smith, and then in an even more recent example, Chinese, talked about that AJ Wilson has a better legacy than Tom Brady, which is absolutely ridiculous. But we're on the topic of Stephen A. Smith, so let's roll the clip of him, having this crazy statement here.
Where the hell the Los Angeles Lakers think they going with a bunch of white dudes? Your 3 top players are white dudes? Really? This ain't golf. This ain't baseball. Hell, it ain't even soccer. What y'all think this is? It's basketball. In NBA history, when have you seen your 3 most prominent players on a basketball team all be white? And that takes you to the promised land. Somebody got to say it, so I'm saying it. This is basketball. I'm not complaining. I'm simply making the point. The Los Angeles Lakers, you ain't going anywhere being led by 3 white dudes in today's generation of basketball. I'm letting you know right now, it ain't happening. And Luka's a bad brother. And Austin Reeves is no scrub. And they both have earned what they have earned. And then with LeBron James or some other brothers I get. But those 2 and Walker Kessler, you ain't scaring anybody with that. And Rob Pelinka has done made this white dude central. No wonder LeBron James walked out the door.
Now, is he wrong? No. Ironically enough, 3 white guys on an NBA team. I mean, I can't really recall a team with 3 white guys other than like the era where they're plumbers and, the 1960s, 1950s, like not real basketball being played. Like in the modern era, I can't really think of a time where 3 white guys was able to win an NBA championship. However, Walker Kessler is not chopped liver. Luka Doncic is a superstar player. And Austin Reeves, even though I think he is more of a third option on a championship team, is a really good player. Now, having those 3 guys on your starting lineup, I think it's a good team, but not a championship winning team. So I get where Stephen A. Smith is coming from. He obviously thinks that's not a championship winning team, and he's not wrong. However, there's things that are objectively true. At the same time, you can't necessarily say. I'm not sure what the alternative was to say in this situation, but it wasn't that. You should have said something else. Something in the effect of 3 white dudes can't win. Now, all of a sudden, you're opening the invitation to other people to say something along the lines of, oh, well, if I said the exact same thing, if I said 3 black dudes can't win in some other sport, now I'm called a racist. It's almost like saying in baseball, you can't win with black dudes on a baseball team. There's no evidence to suggest that, even though that's not true. But, you can't just say that and just think you're going to get off scot-free. Now with Stephen A. Smith, he basically has stock in ESPN. He can essentially say whatever the fuck he wants. Now, why this is dangerous is because this isn't anything new with Stephen A. Smith. He treads on those kind of topics when it comes to race. It seems like whenever we talk about sports, he always needs to bring up race. Or if a black man didn't get any opportunities for a head coaching job or wasn't reinstated into the league, Colin Kaepernick, he always seems to bring up race. So race isn't anything new when it comes to Stephen A. Smith's vocabulary. Now, like I said, this is nothing new, but it's also bad for the network because it reminds the people that aside from sports, you're being constantly reminded of politics. If we wanted politics, we just go on CNN or the SPAN channel if we wanted politics. We came there for sports. We've always come there for sports. So the fact that we tune in to ESPN and we're being fed politics and race baiting and all this sort of junk, it's bullshit. And I do understand there are some situations where race is taken into consideration when these kind of dilemmas do come up. But a lot of times, Stephen A. Smith is being criticized all the time of always bringing up race, even in situations where race had nothing to do with it. Now, in this particular situation, since we're talking about three white guys on an NBA team, he should have said, hey, you can't win with these kind of players. You need to bring a little bit more athleticism. You need to bring a little bit more scoring punch, maybe. Other words to suggest, hey, this is what you're actually saying. There's not enough black dudes on the team without actually saying it. And I feel like all of the other employees at ESPN, since I guess Stephen A. Smith is the ringleader when it comes to what goes on within the shows at ESPN, all the other employees fall. Like I mentioned, Chiney, Ogwumike, people that work there, they now feel the need to insinuate race whenever they have the opportunity to do so. I think the best example is Ryan Clark. I swear to God, he always race baits any opportunity he gets for the NFL. As much as Stephen A. Smith's, bread and butter is talking about the NBA and how they're not incorporating black, people in the NBA, which is ridiculous because it's mostly black. Ryan Clark does the same thing. Guys, the NBA and the NFL, the majority of the players, if you haven't noticed, are African Americans. So it's baffling how you can make that argument when most of the players are African American. So it doesn't make any sense. I think, Ryan Clark is the biggest example of that. Just look up Ryan Clark race baiting examples on YouTube or any kind of platform. It's ridiculous. It's just kind of it's an example of what ESPN has become. I think it's been a shell of its former self. It used to be, I'm getting sports. I'm getting sports highlights at the end of the night after I get off from work. Now it's become unwatchable, to be honest.